you're getting perma Discord orb, you can't engage, or it's like you can't move against Orisa, Discord orb is on you, Bastion is on you, Tracer's debuffing you, there's nothing you can do. Like, absolutely miserable experience.
I'ma say straight, 5v5 destroyed the tank role in Overwatch 2. Doesn't matter if you enjoy 5v5 or 6v6, we can all agree tanking it's just the most boring and frustrating role to play. And I'm gonna explain how 5v5 destroyed the tank role. I think the major issue with tanking right now is the fact that there's no reason to play the high skill, high reward characters anymore. What I would consider high skill, high reward would be Doomfist, Ball, Winston. And for low skill characters, I would say it would be Sigma, Orisa, Mauga. Before I really get into it, ask yourself this: what's the point of me playing the high skill, high reward characters compared to the low skill, high reward characters? There's not really much. This can lean to more towards a balance issue, but with the format, it basically makes it even worse. Take this for example, I've been playing basically just Bowl the whole of Season 10. This is when the big issues come in. It's not because of Anna's sleep or Kiriko Suzu's, it's actually because there's now a new meta for anti-dive tank, which consists of, if I'm playing Bowl for example, Hog, McCree, Sombra, Ana, Brig. And so now, if you're playing Bowl or Doomfist, how the fuck do you counter that? Of course, these characters exist to basically hinder or stop mobility characters from being mobile, but I have to fight now 5 cooldowns at once, which it is doable, don't get me wrong. But even if it is doable, what's the point of me even trying for it? Because they have 5 cooldowns, I am a solo tank. Because I'm a solo tank, I have to take 1 or 2 CCs to the face. But the problem is when there's like a chain reaction of CCs, because it's not you just get slapped by the Ana or hacked by Sombra, you also get hindered, you also get bashed, and then even worse, you get hooked and then you're just essentially dead. And you can make the argument that this was just a one in a lifetime game, where everyone just decided to pick everything to stop me from playing Ball, but it's not. This is what happens every time I go Ball and I'm actually doing extremely well. I will see an instant Brig, and then once the team starts losing more, I will see Hog, I will see Sombra, I will see Kree, I will see these characters every single time I play Ball, and it just becomes really boring and frustrating to play. You're a solo tank, you're gonna have to get hit by 1 cooldown at some point. So if I do get hit by 1 cooldown, it's basically a death sentence, because I know if they're playing that shitty meta, I'm gonna get hit by 4 more and then I just die. So what's the point of me trying to learn and be better at Ball when I can simply just switch to Orisa, Hog, and Mauga, do less of Brainfall, and get the same value as if I was playing Ball? Do you see what I mean? It's like, the more lazy I am, the more rewarded I am for picking these lazy characters. But the more better I am at the good characters and the fun characters, the more punished I get. Like, it's not even low skill, high reward anymore. It's like low skill, high reward, high skill, punished. This leans towards more of a balancing issue, but because of the 5v5 format, the way characters are being created, especially the new ones for Overwatch 2, are essentially just beefed up motherfuckers. Abilities in Overwatch 2 have just gone wild. Like, let's take this for example, right? Ryan is a simple character. He has a shield, he has a hammer, he has 2 5 strikes and a pin. He's a brawl character, you can tell what type of playstyle he needs to play. But why would I pick Ryan over Sigma? Sigma essentially does what Ryan does, but better. He has a stun and he has a kinetic grasp that literally negates any damage towards him and actually gives him health the more damage you do towards his kinetic grasp. And then he has a shield as well, and with the shield up he can shoot behind his shield. Why would I pick Ryan, who basically can't do anything if his shield is up, over a character that can literally stun, negate damage, have a shield while also shooting with his shield out? Do you see what I mean? For some reason, even in Overwatch 1, they just gave these characters stupid abilities. And I think Orisa is probably the worst type of character. And this is why the stability of some of these tanks are just basically unkillable. Because you're always getting healing, and it's not just from yourself, you're getting also healing from your 2 supports. So you basically essentially almost have triple healing. And with these abilities, it's essentially just a get out of jail free card. Because if I lose all my abilities but I still have kinetic grasp, 80% of the time, I know they don't have any cooldowns because I'm already low health and they used it to make me low health. I'll just slap out the kinetic grasp or fortify and I'll just get out free most of the time. And it's like what I was saying before, why would I pick the harder characters when I can just play these dumb, stupid characters that just have these overpowered, overtuned abilities that essentially just make them extremely infuriating to kill? There's a reason why, if you look at the top 500s, there are lots of Sigmas, Orissas, and Malgas. Because these characters are essentially the best characters in the game, but they're the most boring. And I don't even think these characters are actually boring. What makes them boring is the fact that they are so overpowered that you just kind of know what to do, and you just essentially do the same thing every single time. Like if they play Doomfist, you go Orisa. And of course you can play around Orisa, but don't forget you also have other 4 different characters that you need to look out for, just in case they're playing anti-dive. For example, if the Doom just blocks in front of me and I just throw a spear at him every single time he does it, he essentially can't get any kills or really capitalize on his punches anymore, because I just literally stopped him from using one of his most powerful abilities in his kits. So if a character can literally negate and stop you from having one of your strongest abilities because she decided just to throw a spear at you, then you do have a balancing issue. Because it's not just Orisa that Doomfist has to look out for, it's the other 4 characters as well that could have stuns as well. Do you see what I mean? It's just dumb. And then we can start realizing that maybe the 5v5 format isn't working, because when you have to put 6 reworks into different characters, then it kind of shows that the format isn't working and your characters are not fitting into the format. Let's take the Orisa rework for example. Yes, like wow, they removed the shield, but then instead of having a shield, they gave her a stun and a spear spin, which essentially negates any damage. So if your Ana throws a nade and Orisa's spinning, no anti-nades for her. Like, it's just stupid. Like, they actually could have fixed Orisa by just not giving her these dumb abilities. And it's dumb as well because of the 5v5 format, she does need those abilities to actually survive, because if Orisa only has Fortify, there's only so much she can do, obviously, because other tanks are gonna have way more abilities. But it was either she should have just had the spear throw or the spear spin. That was it. But even the spear spin, I think it should be taken out from Orisa, because it's just stupid. She doesn't need that ability. It's just an extra ability to make her more infuriating to play against. If she just had Fortify and a spear thrower, I think she would actually be quite balanced. But because of the 5v5 format, she doesn't feel as good, because all these other characters, Blizzard's probably looking at the Sigma and these other characters, I'm thinking, yeah, we should give like 3 abilities to every single character. And I've seen that trend. It's the same thing with Junker Queen. She has 3 abilities as well, and her abilities are not overpowered at all, but the shout literally heals her. It gives her over healing. What the fuck are we doing? But also, I think a rework that literally did nothing as well was Bull rework. The rework literally, it's still Bull. Like, you play him exactly the same way, but it didn't fix anything, because the problem is people are gonna still play their anti-dive tank meta. It doesn't matter if you give him like 2000 health, it doesn't matter how much you change the Bull. The way you play against Bull hasn't changed. Blizzard's ego has gone out of hand. Like, we need to just go back to 6v6 and actually just rework everything again, because the game's not fun. There's a reason why tank queues are like 1 minute. Like, I get tank queues in 10 seconds sometimes. Do you know why? Because people don't want to play tank anymore. They don't want to have that responsibility. They don't think it's fun anymore. There's a reason why a high Rhine player literally quit Rhine in Season 9, because it was literally unplayable. And the worst part is, how are you going to even rework Rhine? Rhine is essentially perfect. Like, Rhine is a perfect character. He's extremely balanced, where he's easy recognizable to play and he's easy to play, but there's a major skill gap between a good Rhine and a bad Rhine. I can't tell a difference between a good Orisa and a bad Orisa, because they all do the same shit. The difference might just be one has better cooldown management, the other doesn't. That's the only difference. So in my conclusion, I think tanking will never be fixed. If we were ever to go back to 6v6, it would mean that Blizzard would have to admit their mistake. And let's be real, Blizzard has too much of a big ego. They're never going to admit that. Doesn't matter how many reworks are going to be put into the game. Doesn't matter how many times you try to balance a nerf. Tanking is always going to be essentially just pick the beefiest tank. Having one tank, you have to play it in a certain way, and the best way to play it essentially is just picking the most health, the tank with the most ability to win games. And it's unfortunately just going to be like that for a very long time. Until players start playing tanks that don't have these stupid abilities, then the game, like, let's be real, if you want to get to the top lobbies, of course you're going to pick what's the best tank, even if it is a boring tank. And that's why the game becomes extremely fun. There's a reason why in top 500, when I was checking it 2 days ago, it was just basically filled with Orisa, Sigmas, and Malgas. These are the best characters, and I can't blame people in top 500 for playing them, because why would you play anything else? But Overwatch 2 sucks, Blizzard sucks, the tank role is boring and frustrating, and that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I did make a major improvements from my last one because the editing got messed up and for some reason my YouTube stream decided to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna make everything laggy and blurry. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm streaming every day. My links are in the bio. I hope you guys again enjoyed the video and you guys have a good day. Peace.